Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. As you can see, I have a guest here with me today. If it's your first time, my name is Linda Tina, and on my channel you'll find a cocktail of topics, so I'm sure you'll find something you like. Go and subscribe before you go any further into the video. There's a red button down there. In today's video, we're going to be talking about our experiences moving abroad as African women. We both live in Italy, Milan. I've been in Milan for 10 years. I have several videos on my channel talking about my moving here and how I've been able to learn Italian, so you can go and check them out. But we'll also talk about these things from different perspectives with my friend Hilda. She also has a YouTube channel and she'll be making a video on the same matter on her channel. So please do go and check her out. The link to her channel will be down in the comment section, in the description box. But also I'm going to write it over here just so that you can find her easily. So what do we start with? Oh my God, moving to Italy.
It is a very interesting topic, I must say.
It is. We have to see where to start. Okay, let's just start with the moving itself, Hilda.
Yeah. So I moved to Italy 7 years ago in 2013 on the 11th of November. I'll never forget that day.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lovely sunny day and all of a sudden it started raining. Anyway, that's a story for another day. But I moved to Italy to do my master's degree. And 7 years later, I'm still in this country. Very interesting.
So what were your challenges? Like, what was the hardest part? Like, for example, I moved to Italy to live with my husband. I moved for love, like they say. And 8 years later, I feel integrated, but not so fully integrated, because along the way, there are so many challenges and so many difficult, things you have to overcome. What were the difficult things for you? Like, what was the hardest part about living in Italy?
Well, the hardest part about living in Italy is, first of all, being foreign is not very easy. It doesn't have to be
Anywhere.
Italy, but like in general, being foreign is not very easy. First of all, you are not, say, Italian, so you don't speak the language. You
Oh my God, the language.
You do not know the culture, and you can't do anything much in Italy if you don't have the language.
Yeah.
And of course, you get shocked by so many other things. But the fact that I had lived in Egypt before had sort of like trained me.
So you were used to
living abroad.
Exactly.
I was living abroad. I had lived in Egypt for 5 years, and I just knew that this is not my home, and I brought the same perception here. And I knew that when I got to a new place, I had to learn the language, I had to adapt.
Yeah.
Kind of. So it was easier for me than the first moving, I must say.
So what helped you adapt?
And what helped me adapt is that I went to an English school. So the language was a problem, but it wasn't so much a problem as it is for people who have got to go straight into an Italian school. And
so you did your higher learning in English.
It was in English,
exactly.
in English. Okay. So amongst my peers, I was able to communicate, and they were able to help me out, like for example, buy things at the grocery store, and help me go around. I had somebody to translate for me. So that was a bit easy for me. I didn't have to learn everything on my own. They showed me the bars, and they showed me, the happening places. They showed me the parks. They showed me where.
So it was a smooth kind of integration. It was smooth. It was a smooth transition.
I must say my transition was a bit easier. Also, I'm very outgoing and open-minded, so I would go into a group where I don't actually speak the language, and I fit in. To be honest, But my transition.
But for me, with the language, what was frustrating me, like you've mentioned, was having to need my husband to do even the simplest things, like to go to the gynecologist. I had to go with him. Seriously, because it's my body. They're telling me things about my body, but I don't even know what they're saying. So he's translating for me, and for me that was very, very frustrating, because you feel like you're starting from zero.
Was Italian the first other language that you were learning apart from English?
I used to speak French, but then for some reason when I got into Italy, that kind of faded away. So I would say it's the first language that I've really spoken at this level, apart from English, yes.
Okay, I think now I understand. But like I told you, I had moved before, so having a new language wasn't that much of a problem. I knew that at some point I'm going to adjust or actually learn the language, because I was open to actually learning and being able to use the language and communicate, because it all starts like that. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't go to a new place and you already know the language. Also, I had learned that I was coming to a very diverse city, which is Milan, and I thought everybody would speak English.
So let's talk about that.
Yes.
What were your expectations coming to Italy? What were your expectations? I actually have a video, if you just look back into my videos, where I talk about things you should expect as an African person, specifically Uganda, where we come from, things you should expect when you come to Italy.
Exactly.
What were your expectations?
My expectations were a little bit over the roof, having come from Africa. I think every African young girl moving to Europe would have this, because I thought I was like escaping Africa. No, I'm kidding. But
The common assumption. Oh my God.
But yes, I did hope that life would be way better than it was in Africa.
But in what sense? Because I know people move for greener pastures. So how did you think life was going to be much better in Italy?
I thought things would be more functional. I thought things would be completely different, in my opinion. Like, I thought life would be easier. It would be easier to find a job. I thought it would be easier to like live, basically.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, the payment, that is the greener pasture I'm talking about. But I mean, some of the expectations, you have to meet the reality, you know?
Yeah.
I didn't actually consider, issues like documents. I thought when you move to Europe, that's it.
Yeah, you just get in and get in.
You just get in and get in and start making money and start speaking the language and start having all
Doesn't
these
work like that.
Italian friends, but no, things actually don't work like that.
Actually, guys, Hilda is going to talk about the process of her getting into the country and the whole procedure.
Yeah.
You need to go and watch that on her channel. She's gonna tell you about all the problems she faced.
Exactly.
Coming to Italy,
Especially
like the
as a
whole
student.
procedure
Yeah.
as a student. Okay, you go and catch that on her channel. So you were saying that you had these high expectations and you thought things would be, all
I
so
thought I
lovely.
would come here and go to a school, live in a fashion city, probably land a very good juicy job in the fashion industry.
And what's actually happening?
Something completely different. If you watch my videos, if you follow me on my channel, you know that I do work in a completely different sector from fashion, and I just do fashion blogging on the side.
Okay, but that's actually really fantastic.
I'm still.
But Hilda, I want to know now, what has been one thing that you have learned? Not one thing. What are the things you have learned from living abroad, particularly from living in Italy, Milan? What are those lessons you have picked from this relocation?
I must say, being open-minded.
Yeah, very important.
I live each day as it comes, and I am so open to like changes, because I mean, it could have been the language here, but it could be any other change that you just have to adapt to immediately. Yeah. So in Uganda, you could have your relatives, you could have your mom who could support you here and there, but those things are not here. For example, when I was a student and I got ill, I didn't have my mom come to the hospital to see me. So it has taught me that you just have to be open-minded to changing and to adapting. It has also taught me to be very independent.
Yeah.
I used to be very dependent on my mom. She used to take me to school. Even when I was in high school, my mom used to take me to school. She still picks me up from the airport, even up to now. But I was very dependent on her and on my family. Yeah. Right now, I pay my own bills. I could just get a cab and go to another city without even worrying about anything.
Yeah.
It has taught me independence, open-mindedness, and damn, it has taught me to work. Like, nothing is free in this country.
You see, people think that you work less when you live abroad.
That's not
but
true.
But you actually you have to earn everything. First of all, you don't really have those connections like you'd have back home, where you know someone who's going to link you to a job. And no, you have to work for every single coin.
Also back home, if I didn't have food, I'd probably go to my mom's house and have dinner.
You get lazy because you have some backup plan. When you're on your own abroad, it's and then in Italy it's hard.
It's even harder.
It's even harder.
It is even harder. I don't know about the other European countries. I've not lived anywhere else, but one thing I know is that everything that I have in my house in Italy, I have earned.
Yeah.
Not even like a glass of water, I have to pay for it. Like literally everything I have to pay for, Linda, to be honest. So it has taught me to work really hard. And I think that's actually a great thing to learn. I know that relocating can be also a bit lonely.
I have a husband and kids, so I have a family. I have a real family here. But especially during the winter, I don't know why, that time of the year, winter blues are very real, people. Yeah. I feel like I miss my friends and family back home so much. It makes me almost physically sick. Do you get that as well?
Yes, I do get it, and that is one of the reasons why I actually stopped going home. I had stopped going home for Christmas because I mean, coming back from the sunny, warmly family kind of environment, back into the winter by myself, going to work. It's dark. The days are shorter. It is really, really different.
And then you mentioned something. You mentioned about the time you felt sick and you were on your own. That's another time you feel really lonely moving abroad because, you know, at home, back home, when you get sick, you have like the whole family around you. Are you feeling okay? Are you all right? Someone is bringing you soup. The other person is bringing you tea. My husband does that for me when I'm here, but it's not really the same thing because he has to work and then I have kids to take care of, and then you don't have that much help. So you actually feel the loneliness when you actually move abroad, right?
Yes. What are your challenges?
My challenges living here, the first one was basically the language. That was very, very, very hard. When I got to learn the language properly, I felt more integrated into the society.
I think that's the trick.
Yeah. And then everything else you mentioned, you know, the loneliness, that feeling of being alone, and the fact that you have to start from zero, you have to start from scratch. Your degree or the job that you had back home doesn't count that much. No. So you really have to start from zero. Yeah. Those were my challenges. And so far, I feel good about the progress I've made, you know, because slowly you blend in, you learn to live in your new environment if you are a very open-minded person, especially. We kind of have the same character.
Exactly. If you are very close-minded, it's going to be really hard for you to live in this country. First of all, Italians are very chatty people. Like,
they are vibrant.
You can meet them on the street and they jazz you up, and they could invite you for coffee. Next time you go for a drink, and then from there you're just friends like that. So if you're the kind of person that wants to keep to yourself, it might be a little bit uncomfortable, or you might feel like, wow,
I like too much
into your face. But I think yes, Italy is not a country where you have to come and just like be by yourself. And
that makes actually a lot of sense. Okay. Just to end this video, we don't want to make it too long. Also, because we're going to discuss more of this on Hilda's channel. So please head over to her video, which is already up as well. We'll be talking about the process of moving here and all the other things in between there about moving and being an African woman in Italy. But this was the last question I wanted to ask you. How has it been for you, particularly as an African woman living in Italy?
Well, that's a very interesting question. I actually get asked a lot about it. People are always like, how did you end up here? Because most Africans here, okay, I won't speak for most of them, but like some of them come on the boat and it's something that is looked at negatively.
Like undocumented, you mean?
Yes, I would say. But then there are people that actually make a choice. Like I did make a choice to come to Italy. I did make a choice to study in Italy. I did make a choice to stay.
Yeah.
So it is a positive thing. I think people need to look at it in a positive light as well.
So you feel like being an African woman sometimes
it is always like looked at
there's
the
a negative
there's a negative part like attached to it.
Yeah. Also because they mentioned that the first African women that they saw here were mostly prostitutes.
Yeah.
So most times they're going to have people hitting on you, expecting you to kind of be that kind of person.
Exactly.
Actually, our challenge is the assumptions. The preconceptions,
yes, that people have, and what do they call it? Especially, I would say there's usually a negative light attached to like the African woman here. You are looked at as lazy. Usually at the workplace, you have to work really hard to prove yourself.
Really?
Yeah.
Actually, for me, at my workplace, I felt like they used to feel like I work even harder than them because I think most of my colleagues are like lazy, taking coffee breaks. And for me, from back home, I have this work culture. So I was actually looked at as someone who works really hard.
So I think it's that you did have to prove yourself. But Linda, when you arrived there, they didn't have that in the first place. They had to first see you work. Do you get what I mean?
You think so?
So people have got these conceptions because they know that they think that African women are lazy, I would say. But when you get into the workplace and you actually get to work, then they realize, oh, there's actually a hard work.
Which is another point.
Yeah.
Being an African woman or being a person from Africa, you kind of need to prove yourself all the time. you need to prove that you're not what they think you are.
Yes, yeah. I don't know if the African women in the past that lived in Italy did anything wrong, but I think it's really bad for people to generalize a certain kind of
but anyone,
yeah.
you shouldn't generalize.
You should never generalize. Also, what did I want to say? I wanted to add on that being an African woman here, the dating life is very interesting.
Oh my god, we have a separate, no spoilers, we have a separate video. So I'm not in the dating world, but I have many of my friends who have been or who are in the dating world, and
Yes.
I want to hear about that. So we're going to make a separate video for that. Yeah. So guys, we've come to the end of this video, but not really the end, because there's still so much to talk about on this topic, and you're going to find the rest of the information on her channel. So on Hilda's channel, she's going to talk about the process of moving here. I moved by marriage, she moved as a student, and those are totally different processes, but we're going to discuss all that on her channel, so you better head over there. And then she'll also talk about how we're doing, how are we living now in Italy, how are we coping, what are our lives like and our daily lives like. But just to end this video on a wonderful note, I'll just mention that we love our lives in Italy.
Yeah, I do love this.
That's why we're still here. We like living in Milan, we like the proximity, we like that, you know, we live in the fashion capital, guys.
Exactly.
We don't take that for granted.
I love fashion.
And she's a fashion freak, oh my god. So she's just right where she needs to be. And also the life is so vibrant. The food is fantastic. So all in all, Italy is, and you know what I always say? Mm-hmm. I think I ended up here. I was meant to end up here because it resonates so much with my personality. Italy and Milan.
They're so warm people. I mean, the people here are very warm.
The fashion, the lifestyle, everything is just fantastic. So guys, you have anything else to say, Hilda?
Not really. I just want to say that I'll see you on the other side on my channel.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe and see you on the other side. Bye-bye.
Bye.